a Roman emperor written out of history may have actually been real, according to the scientific analysis of a very controversial coin. Archaeological science isn't just about ancient DNA and stable isotope analysis. We can also apply scientific techniques to artifacts, and they're helping reveal secrets of the past not visible to the naked eye. I'm Madam Archaeologist, your go-to informant on everything archaeology, and in this episode, I'll dive into a study that suggests a Roman emperor may be missing from our history books. More than 300 years ago in Transylvania, a gold coin was found in a hoard bearing the name and portrait of a mysterious figure named Sponsian, or Sponsianus in Latin. It was dismissed as a fake by 19th century experts, and so historians wrote Sponsian out of Roman history completely. But the case has reopened now that this coin could be authentic, meaning our Roman history books may need a bit of updating. Researchers analyzed scratch marks on the coin and concluded that it was in circulation in antiquity, not a forgery. They used special imaging techniques to get a closer look at the coin's surface. Specifically, they used a visible light microscope and scanning electron microscopy. Essentially, these allow researchers to study the surfaces of coins in greater detail by magnifying them. We can then look at scratch marks and wear patterns more closely. Overall, the scratches, or microabrasion patterns, on the Sponsian coin are consistent with genuine Roman coins of the 3rd century AD. You can see some comparisons here. The other 3 coins analyzed were from the same hoard that the Sponsian coin was found in. They also found that it had been buried in dirt for a long time. When ancient coins are cleaned, some earthen deposits still stick to recesses. The researchers wanted to see if dirt might have been rubbed, glued, or baked onto the Sponsian coin in order to rule out or identify forgery, using the same light microscopy imaging and scanning electron microscopy imaging techniques. They found the earthen deposits to be similar to coins that were truly in circulation, and further tests revealed that those deposits were tightly cemented by opaline silica, which suggests that they had accumulated from the coin actually having been buried in the ground and not from having been applied artificially. The earthen deposits also enclose different types of mineral grains that are indicators of soil. Although the researchers couldn't determine the specific amount of time the coin had been buried in dirt, it could have easily been hundreds of years and even as far back as the 3rd century AD, when they think Sponsian ruled. Their conclusion, after the entire analysis, was, I quote, "We are unable to devise any remotely plausible scenario that can account for the wear patterns, overlain by cemented earthen deposits. Other than that, they are products of antiquity." The previous consensus among coin specialists that they were faked in the 18th century is clearly untenable. End quote. This coin is 100% authentic. Or is it? Some skeptics have questioned the results of this study, although I wouldn't say that all their claims are valid. For example, the American Numismatics Society pointed out that the study didn't mention how long the coins were in circulation for, and then noted that the Sponsian coin was compared to 19th century gold coins that circulated for up to 100 years. The American Numismatics Society then goes on to reach their own conclusion that this implies that the Sponsian coin had circulated for up to 100 years, which they deem impossible. They then suggest that to prove the Sponsian coin and the others in the hoard were indeed in circulation, the coin should, I quote, "be analyzed beside known 18th century forgeries as well as authentic Roman coins," end quote. However, if we look at the study, the researchers did use 2 confirmed real Roman coins from the 3rd century, one of the Emperor Gordian III and one of Philip I, and compared them to the Sponsian coin and others in the hoard that were analyzed. The wear patterns on the Sponsian coin were then also compared to 19th century gold coins that had been in circulation as well, and all the important similarities were found. The only difference is that there was more chipping around the lettering on the Sponsian coin, but that's probably because its surface was more brittle. The researchers found that its composition was made of gold, but it also had some silver and copper components. More on that soon. It's also premature to make inferences about circulation when, in reality, the circulation of coins in antiquity is poorly studied. We are getting increasing evidence that Roman coins stayed in circulation in the Roman Empire's former eastern provinces for some time after they fell to the Arabs, so it's possible they could have stayed in circulation longer elsewhere. Interesting work has been done at Jerash, where, for example, many late Roman coins and a few older ones have been found in Umayyad houses that had been destroyed by the earthquake that left the city in ruins in 749. I'm not saying that the entire Roman Empire would have followed the same trend as that seen in the empire's eastern provinces, but I do think that considering the insights we are gaining from that region, We should be more cautious about drawing premature conclusions until the necessary research on coin circulation has been done. In specific relation to Dacia, this book, Monetary Circulation in Dacia and the Provinces from the Middle and Lower Danube from Trajan to Constantine I, found that some coins from the 1st century BC and a large quantity from the 1st century AD, that is, coins issued before Dacia even became a Roman province, could have been in circulation in Dacia in the 2nd century AD, when it did indeed become part of the Roman Empire. We will understand coin circulation better as more research gets done. The Society also points out that the coin was cast in mold, whereas ore, or Roman gold coins, minted in Rome were struck. But there is a reasonable explanation for this for the Sponsian coin, and I'll outline that soon. However, I do agree with the American Numismatic Society's point that the casting of the coins of the Roman emperors Gordian III and Philip I or II found in the same hoard being similar to the Sponsian coin is a bit odd, at least at first glance. One might wonder, wouldn't the aureus of Gordian III and the aureus of Philip I or II have been struck in Rome? Why haven't we found other coins like these ones? The researchers have a hypothesis regarding this, which I'll outline soon. One question I have, though, considering all of the points above, is, if this coin wasn't in circulation in antiquity, then what else could have caused the wear patterns and marks on it, plus the earthen deposits cemented by silica? The researchers, for one, found the scratch marks and wear patterns to be overwhelmingly similar to coins that were in circulation and that they were not created by artificial abrasion. And looking at other suspected forgeries, the researchers also found that, although the fakes had some scratches from wear, they were not as deep or extensive as those on the Sponsian coin and on the Roman coins we know to be authentic. The researchers do admit in the paper that studying further forged coins would help validate the Sponsian coin's authenticity when considering wear alone. But when you also consider the evidence of the earthen deposits and silica, these add another layer of support in favor of the coin's authenticity. Let's say for a second that the coin is real. What does this mean for Roman history? Well, not only does this mean that there was a real person behind this portrait of Sponsian, but the researchers propose that Sponsian, I quote, was most likely an army commander in the isolated Roman province of Dacia during the military crisis of the 260s. And that his crudely manufactured coins supported a functioning monetary economy that persisted locally for an appreciable period. End quote. Transylvania, where the coin was found, was the core of former Dacia, which had been conquered by the Roman Emperor Trajan at the beginning of the 2nd century AD for its mineral resources, particularly its gold. However, it was one of the hardest provinces to defend, so it became heavily militarized. The researchers suggest that as Sponsian didn't control an official mint and certainly didn't rule from Rome, it's likely that he took charge of Dacia during a time of crisis, specifically in the 260s, when Dacia was cut off from the rest of the empire. To create a functioning economy, Sponsians and the Dacians had to mint their own coins, which would explain why the Sponsian coin was cast and not struck. That the coin was compositionally different from coins minted in Rome can also be explained by Sponsian taking charge and having his own coins locally minted. As for the coins of the former 3rd century emperors within the hoard, the researchers suggest that during this crisis, the Dacians first minted coins bearing the portraits of emperors who had some success in the area, and then coins bearing the portrait of a local commander-in-chief, our Sponsian. Also, the study points out that these coins would have been heavily used and not stored as wealth, because they were the only source of new money, so it's possible that they could have become heavily worn in a relatively short period of time, so perhaps they didn't need to have been in circulation for 100 years to have achieved the same wear marks as the 19th century gold coins. Hopefully more research on how scratches accumulate on coins over time at different extents of use will give us some clarity. But if these hypotheses regarding Sponsian are true, then they have serious implications for the history of Dacia and the Roman Empire as a whole. Upon evaluating the evidence, the Sponsian coin has to either be authentic, or it has to be the work of an extremely skilled forger who used techniques we haven't seen on any forged coins to date. Techniques that would have made this coin appear genuine under a microscope. A total of 4 coins bearing Sponsian's portrait are known, and there's always a chance that more will be found. One problem I have with all the skepticism, though, is that it shows how unreceptive some archaeologists are to any discoveries that challenge the status quo. There's no problem with taking a cautious approach. I tend to err on the side of caution with my own work and the conclusions that I draw, but we also need to be more open-minded and not outright reject new discoveries that make us rethink what we know. It has happened that an archaeological discovery is rejected by the community at first, only later to be accepted as fact. Perhaps a thorough comparison between all 4 known Sponsian coins and several forged Roman coins will finally settle the debate. As usual, if you have any thoughts, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to give this video a like. Subscribe for more cool content by your go-to informant on everything archaeology, Madam Archaeologist.